Today, I just want to go through 5 signs of a mafia state in 5 minutes. This is just to highlight 5 things that indicate to us that South Africa, as we know it, is a mafia state. And what has happened over this weekend has emphasized that. So I just want to go through those 5 signs and give a few examples because we can complain and post on social media, but until we get to realize that our country has lost all forms of law and order, so it's become a lawless country. People can just do whatever they want, and there are no consequences to it. And we're also seeing that in the Madlanga Commission, that people who are holding very serious positions just come and just lie to us without any fear of prosecution. So the first one is the silencing of whistleblowers or witnesses. Um, South Africa in 2025 is a country where if you do the right thing, you are likely going to be punished more than somebody who does something wrong or breaks the law. So those who break the law have accumulated so much power that they can silence those who are trying to do the right thing. So here I've just written down a couple that we can go through. So this is coming from the confirmed death of the guy who gave testimony at the Madlanga Commission as witness D. And obviously, he was doing this anonymously. Marius van der Merwe, who was killed over this weekend. And it reminds me of the second one, who is Babita Deokaran. This is a person who exposed corruption in Gauteng, Department of Health, that have to do with PPE and the Tembisa scandal. And the third one is a young man, Mpho Mafole, who was killed this year. Is an auditor from Ekurhuleni who also exposed some corruption in Ekurhuleni. So this is just a few. I mean, this morning I went through a list and I counted more than 10 known witnesses or whistleblowers whose lives were taken away because they were looking to expose corruption. So number two is kidnappings. You know, kidnappings is a sign of lawlessness where people can come and grab you or grab your child or your relative in exchange for small ransoms, or sometimes even worse, you never get to see those people. So in South Africa at the moment, we're dealing with more than 50 kidnappings a day. That's about 17,000 a year. And as somebody who was born in the 80s and grew up in the 90s, I think I mentioned before that kidnappings was a far-fetched idea. But now in South Africa, as we experience it now, it's something that happens on a daily basis. So number three is a phenomenon of mass shootings. And I just want to go through a list there so you can see that in 2025 alone, there's been 6 mass shootings, including the one that happened this weekend. So I just want to go through them because sometimes we need to do this so you can understand how serious the situation is. So 6 December this weekend, this is in Pretoria in Gauteng. We have 12 people who died and 14 people who are injured from a mass shooting. And in the Western Cape, 23 November 2025, 1 person died, 3 people injured. In Gauteng alone, in Gauteng again, the 1st of November, 6 people killed, 3 injured. In Limpopo, 19 April this year, 1 person lost their lives and 4 people were injured. In the Eastern Cape, 12 January 2025, 6 people died and then 1 was injured. And in Mpumalanga, 11 January 2025, 8 people died and 3 people were injured. So you can see that in 2025 alone, almost every month we have a mass shooting. And what really puzzles me is that where is our crime intelligence? How? And because with these kind of shootings, nobody, the reports always say the motive of the shooting is not known. But the police are supposed to do thorough investigations and start being proactive and knowing exactly what is going on here. But it cannot be random. I don't think it's random at all. And then number four, sign that we're a mafia state is that criminal activities that we are seeing in public institutions. You don't have to go further than the Madlanga Commission to see what is happening with our public institutions. They are literally gutted to the ground and run by people who are either in bed with criminals or are just very incompetent themselves, and they're very vulnerable to bribes and corruption itself. And we can see it all around us. Uh, Number five is the fact that there are no consequences for criminals, or we have a weak criminal justice system, or we have a captured justice system. So in South Africa now, we are becoming familiar with judges being bribed or prosecutors being in the pockets of criminals and all sorts of corruption in our justice system. So we keep going in this direction, we'll end up in a situation where judges are being killed, judges are being compromised, and judges are being corrupted to influence the outcome of certain cases. So I just wanted to share that with you today. And it's a really sad situation to see what has happened to Witness D. It's a sad situation to see how these people get killed in mass, especially when people are sitting around in a tavern environment or events. And that is a trend that I'm seeing when I look at the stats, that it's always a group of people who are just sitting and having a good time, and then one man or a group of men come and just try to wipe up the whole crowd. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for subscribing and making our channel grow. Until then, stay safe.